suppose there's a little bit of a warning on this one for those people partaking of food right about this time. It's only a little kind of gentle one, but, everything should be fine.
Okay.
Just
trusting you on this.
Yeah. Dear Simon and the Fastidious Philanthropists of Forgiveness, which is a new one. So full marks, Tammy, for that. A promising start. Thank you, Tammy. I'd like to take you back to the summer of 2015, a time so recent that the whiff of my confession is more than a little fresh. It was a warm Sunday afternoon and I was attending a barbecue. Spirits were high, sausages were traditionally cremated on the outside and somewhat undercooked on the inside. And the drink, it floweth like my summer dress.
Very good,
says
this is
Tammy.
Brilliant already.
Fast forward to the next morning and I woke with a slightly fuzzy head, which I told myself was to be expected because of the wine. I felt certain that after a coffee my impending hangover would dissipate, so I busied myself with my normal morning routine of shower, hair and makeup. However, something was definitely off, and the more I tried to go about my normal routine, the more peculiar I felt. My stomach was making those worrying noises, and my mind drifted back to the undercooked sausages on the barbecue, and it was then that I knew, without even consulting NHS Direct, that I was probably suffering from a rather poorly tummy. Okay? Fine. All right so far. Now, I'm not one to be defeated by a small dose of food poisoning, Father Simon, so I figured I would call in somewhere to get some relief in the form of a bung you up for a week kind of tablet. But because of the unsociable hour, I needed to leave for work, and there was only one place that could sell me such tablets, which is my local petrol station. Now, no one really relishes the thought of asking for these kinds of tablets in front of anyone else. So, as I pulled into the parking spaces, I was relieved to see I was the only customer. Wasting not a second, I got out of my car, ran across the forecourt and rushed straight to the counter. Sitting on a chair to the left of the counter was an elderly female attendant who hadn't heard me come in, so I coughed to get her attention. Coughed carefully, I should say. She smiled as she slowly got off her chair and started shuffling towards the counter. As I willed her to just get a move on, I heard the dreaded tinkle of the bell above the door, not once but twice. 2 men had come in, and they took their place in the queue behind me, and still the elderly lady hadn't actually even reached the counter. She finally took her place at the till. I snuck a glimpse at the man behind me, holding his milk and his paper, and I have to tell you, coincidentally, he was absolutely gorgeous. Think of a mixture of Daniel Craig and Tom Hardy. Well, my stomach dropped, but only, just as far as was sensible.
It's Matt.
And I knew... It's not far off.
Uncanny.
I knew then that this particular interaction was going to be completely awful. I looked pleadingly at the attendant across the counter and whispered, Can I have some Imodium, please? Though obviously other anti-diarrhea tablets are available.
Yeah.
Though obviously I didn't say that, but I'm just doing that for compliance
Well done.
reasons. Eh? She shouts back at me. I gathered all my courage, I gritted my teeth, and as the door chime tinkled again, announcing the arrival of a third customer, I said slightly, I need some Imodium tablets. Other anti-diarrhea tablets are obviously available, but at this precise moment, them. The woman looked at me, clearly confused by the fact that I was mumbling like in a BBC drama, and then gestured towards the tobacco products and said, You want them? I can't hear you, love. Well, I was exasperated now and praying that she would follow my earnest stare towards the product in question. I whispered pitifully, Imodium, please. Wine gums? She says. It was at this point that a loud Scottish accent...
Oh, excellent. Oh, this will be good.
...belonging to the trucker, who had just joined the back of the queue, bellowed...
Oh, she didn't want wine gums, she's got the runs. She wants squat stopper tablets.
She got the roses.
That's just one of my voices.
Well done.
By the way.
Yeah.
He was uncanny.
I swear up until that point I'd never truly understood the phrase, I want the ground to open up and swallow me, but I did then. Honestly, the shame that I felt as the look of recognition dawned on the attendant's face, the speed she pushed herself in order to reach the tablets for me, the agonising seconds it took for me to make my purchase, not waiting for my £4 change, and then the quick bolt to the forecourt toilet, avoiding eye contact with anyone. However traumatic my experience, though, it doesn't excuse my actions, and I feel I need to seek forgiveness not from the trucker, who outed me, or from the handsome Daniel Craig Tom Hardy hybrid, but from the poor attendant. Not only was the toilet I headed to staff only, but later that day I realised that instead of handing over £10 for the £6 purchase, I'd only given her a fiver. I'd glared at the poor woman when she couldn't understand my whispering. I clearly put pressure on her to move quicker than she thought she was probably comfortable with. I robbed her of 80p, and then I topped it off by...
No, you didn't.
I
That's
decided
where it
that...
ended.
I
Yeah.
remember that.
Leave it there. Yeah.
I feel truly dreadful about all of this, and I ask for your leniency. But I thought my accents are getting better. Right, Tammy was in a very Tammy's tricky situation. Sister Bobby's going to speak now.
I thought that confession was going to be so much worse than it was.
It could have been. It could have been.
Yeah, my imagination was running. I love the trucker. Well done for the trucker for saving you. He really did save you, and he was, just cut through the embarrassment and said, "Look, she needs that, and she needs it quick." So well done to him. Can I forgive you? Well, I think these assistants know. I think they know when they can read your body language. They know when it's uncomfortable. So I don't know whether you need forgiveness. I don't know, because I think she may have played you along there.
So
It's
the
just
old
the
lady,
chance.
she did it on purpose. She
Just might have done, just said, what is it again you want, Anyway, like other things that you feel embarrassed asking for.
So you're forgiving, are you?
I'm not forgiving.
You're not forgiving. Oh, okay. Nige.
Well, I thought the whole thing, roll your own diarrhea tablets. I thought that was at one stage what she was going to ask for. It was very confusing. Delighted that Daniel Craig Hardy, a.k.a. Matt Williams, he didn't utter a word, did he? Because it was really just the Scotsman who helped out.
He smoulded that.
He did, indeed. Smoulded beautifully. And it wasn't her fault that she shortchanged the lady, because she was unaware of it at the time. She was obviously in need. And the fact that, Tammy, you've called it as that I'm one of the fastidious philanthropists of forgiveness, which I would definitely, on this occasion, forgive you, because you were caught short and you did incredibly well considering.
Brother Matthew.
Well, yes, I'm going to go along with Bobby on this one. I think that the attendant knew. I think this is what she lives for, is people coming in and saying, can I have that very embarrassing thing that's across the counter, please, because I don't want anyone else to know. And her to say, do you want some fags? Is that what it is? Say it louder. Lots of very important people behind you in the queue. So I am going to forgive because,